What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing alright. Payday 3's open beta has gone live twice now, and from everything we've learned about the game so far, I thought it might be fun to compare Payday 2 to what we know so far of Payday 3. Since our experience of Payday 3 has only been through the open beta, keep in mind that these comparisons should be taken with a grain of salt, okay? So don't be grilling my motherfucking ass in the comment section talking about, it was just a beta, bro. Trust me, I get it. Anyway, before we jump into some of these comparisons, do your boy a favor and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. But without further ado, one of the very first differences when comparing both titles is obviously the vast upgrade in graphics. If we were to compare both games side by side based on graphics alone, surely Payday 3 would win. But that's obvious because the gap between both games has been over 10 years, allowing the developers to utilize new graphics engines and software like Unreal Engine 4 and 5 to give the new Payday universe a much more crisp and immersive look. Now with that being said, there are still a lot of players that have been pointing out that the graphics of Payday 3 aren't even that good. And in my honest opinion, they really aren't. At least not in comparison to some of these other games out there like Grand Theft Auto 5 or Spider-Man or even Starfield. But in Payday's defense, the title itself has never been praised for its graphics. It's always been about the gameplay, the action, and its tactical approach to the heisting genre. Another comparison that might be made when looking at both games side by side is the character selection. In Payday 2, you were given the ability to choose between 22 different characters, each with their own backstory, signature weapons, and perk sets. But in Payday 3, on launch there has only been a confirmed 6 heisters to choose from, and 4 of them are already from the original series. Boring. But in Payday's defense again, every Mortal Kombat drops with the same characters, every Street Fighter, and Spider-Man games you play as, well, you get the fucking idea. One heister that's not from the original Payday series has already been featured in Payday 2 as a promotion for the Switch release of the game, and that leaves just one brand new heister. 10 years and you only created one new character and backstory? Come on, son.
Come on, son. Come on, son. Come on, son.
But if you want to learn more about this brand new mystery heister, you can check out the details in one of my previous videos. I'll leave the link to that video in the description below. Obviously, as the game moves forward and progresses in time, we will see new characters introduced, but as it stands, if we compare the two games on character selection alone, Payday 2 definitely takes this one. Moving forward, we have gun customization. The Payday franchise has always been a top-tier first-person shooter with a great selection of both guns and customization. But based on what we've learned from the beta, if you stack the two titles up against each other in this category, I honestly think Payday 3 takes it. In the beta, we only had a select few guns to choose from and play with, but the customization was very deep. Much like Call of Duty, the Payday 3 gun customization allows players to level up specific weapons in order to unlock and attach various weapon modifiers like sights, grips, barrels, lasers, stocks, and more. While Payday 2 did have a ton of modifiers that could be equipped as well, unlocking them was a matter of cash and continental coins, while the weapon upgrading mechanic of Payday 3 makes adding attachments to your weapon much more rewarding and challenging. Gun customization, Payday 3, no question, GG easy. With all the new implementations to Payday 3 like season passes and microtransactions, another category the games could be compared on is price. When Payday 2 was officially released, its standard edition only costed $30, while Payday 3's standard price on launch is $40. Fucking boo! But in Payday's defense again, creating a game with a higher engine and next-gen capabilities surely costs more than whatever budget went into creating Payday 2. But if we're just comparing price with no excuses, Payday 2 definitely takes it. Payday 2 not only released for cheaper, but it also supplied more heists on launch, and it had no microtransactions and no season passes. Although the game did have a shit ton of DLCs released over the years, they were purchased on release and not pre-bundled into a season pass. Pricing, Payday 2. And that leaves us with the actual gameplay of both games. If you're familiar with the Payday franchise, the game is played in one of two ways, either stealth or loud. When it comes to stealth gameplay, from my experience on Payday 2 and the Payday 3 beta, 100% Payday 3 has a much more tactical and enjoyable stealth option. If you haven't played the beta yet, I'm about to spoil some things for you, so close your motherfucking ears. When attempting a stealthy approach, the game gives you a lot more freedom than Payday 2 allowed. In casing mode, you can open and unlock doors, you can interact with objects without putting your mask on. You have an unlimited amount of zip ties, you're giving warning by security guards and escorted back to public areas instead of being shot at instantly and ending your stealth attempt. You can even trade hostages to buy your crew more time before an assault wave begins. By far, Payday 3 has a much more complex and strategic stealth gameplay. But what about loud heists? On Payday 2, the art of going loud was pure chaos, but not in a bad way. Going loud in Payday 2 was fun and enjoyable. It was a bullet hell horde shooter where the creativity of your builds and weapon choices could really shine. On Payday 3, when going loud, the game still feels strategic and tactical. Regardless of your build and skills, your gameplay choices need to be highly thought over. Taking cover, suppressive fire, reshielding, and healing manually. I personally enjoyed the chaos of Payday 2's loud heist more. The freedom to run and gun because the hours of grinding that you put in earned you skill points that allowed you to go crazy in the open, that allowed you to be a bullet sponge, allowed you to be an akimbo SMG speed freak. It just felt fair. The higher level you were, the tankier you were, and the more damage you dealt. But in Payday 3, it kind of felt like even 10, 20 levels up, I'm still as squishy as I was at level 1. So I'd say overall, loud heists I would give to Payday 2. It's hard to compare the gameplay between the two games, and honestly I'd have to call it a draw, with Payday 3 taking the stealth heist and Payday 2 winning with the loud. So if we look at both games in comparison on all categories, Payday 3 takes graphics. Payday 2 wins in character selection. Payday 3 takes gun customization. Payday 2 wins in pricing, and both games have their own pros and cons when it comes to stealth and loud heists. So I guess it's a draw, but that's just my opinion. But I will say this, to me, Payday 3 is tied in comparison to Payday 2, but that was just a motherfucking beta. Just saying, I can only imagine how the full release will compare. Maybe we'll remake another video like this a few months from now comparing both games on full releases. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think of Payday 3's beta in comparison to Payday 2, and if we should remake this video after the game fully releases. Also smash that like button for your boys, support the channel, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'd really appreciate it. As always, don't sweat the small stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video.